Greetings, YouTube. Today I'd like to talk about an article out of California. It seems that a transgender woman, someone transitioning from a male to a female, was visiting the DMV in California to get a new ID to go with her new identity. One Amber Yust. It's Y-U-S-T. I'm assuming it's Yust. And the employee that waited on her wasn't too pleased about the fact that Miss Yust is transgender. In the past, this particular employee had refused to service a transgender citizen and had received disciplinary action and sensitivity training in the hopes of rehabilitating them and make them a more fair and equitable employee. Well, this time around, he waited on Amber Yust, but took her personal information, removed that personal information from the DMV, went home, and wrote a letter to Miss Yust. In addition, she also received a pamphlet from a church condemning her and saying that most people who are transgender are homosexuals, and homosexuals shall be deemed unholy and shall be condemned to hell. Now, I don't know what the orientation of Miss Yust is, and I don't think it really matters. It shouldn't have mattered to this employee, because the employee's job was to make sure that Miss Yust got the ID that the state issued to her. That is all this employee should have done. They didn't have to like Miss Yust. They didn't have to like who she was, who she is, who she will be. They didn't have to like anything about her. You have your constitutional right to not like anybody you want. You can express that right. Unless you're on the job, unless you illegally remove personal information from a government agency, unless you probably break some stalking laws at the same time, then not so much. Now, this person was allowed to be on administrative leave for 2 months until they eventually resigned. Now, they shouldn't have resigned. They should have been fired. They've already pulled something like this once before, so there's a precedent there. And they took information out of the office, which should be illegal, and then sent a harassing letter to someone, which I know is illegal. Now, Miss Yust is going to be suing the DMV, or the state of California, and I hope that she gets a whole lot of money. I can't imagine how she's going to lose this case, because all she has to do is produce the pamphlet and the letter and say, Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and the jury's going to go, yeah, give her a bunch of money. I think that the sensitivity training they give the employees at the California DMV may be failing. Maybe they want to find a new service, because it didn't work this time around, folks. Now, like I said, this employee has every right to think that Miss Yust is walking down the primrose path to damnation. And on the outside world, if he encountered her, he could tell her that. But when you remove information from your job, a government agency, and use that information to harass someone through the mail, that violates a whole bunch of laws. Not to mention, in my opinion, falls under the category of both being unethical and immoral. I'm the first person to defend freedom of speech. But I'm also one of the first people to say that it's not okay to harass people. You may not like how people live their lives, but you shouldn't harass them for it. I don't think that's really hard to understand. I think your average 3-year-old probably understand that. But this person felt that their personal view of the world was more important. So they would invade someone's life like this. It's just amazing. So I'm hoping that we get some more information about this case. Of course, court cases being what they are, and the fact that the California is essentially bankrupt, it may be quite a while until this case actually ever sees a courtroom. Maybe things will get settled out of court before then, who knows. California maybe want to cut their losses and see if they can just get them to accept a preliminary lump sum. But I hope that Amber Yost finds a more equitable and fair group of people to deal with in the California DMV the next time she needs an ID. Or at least we know one thing. This guy won't be working there.